Okay, Mr. Bland, here's what I did. Here's what we're going. That's what we're going to have at the end. What happened was I went ahead and drew the whole thing, and then for some reason it erased or deleted. So, got to start over. Okay, so that's where we're going. And I'm going to start with hitting M, and that will draw me a square. Okay? Actually, I have an idea. Let's do the flutes first. These are the fluted areas. And also, let's start by doing a blue outline with a white fill. I am going to Command C to copy it and Command F to paste it in front. I'm going to use my Shift key to nudge it up a little bit. And then I'm going to flatten that to make it like a skinny rectangle, like that. And now we've got something that looks like a tall letter I. So now I'm going to select both of those. I'm going to hit Shift, Option, and arrow to the right. Boom. And since they're spaced pretty well, I'm going to keep on going. Boom, 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 boom. We don't need that many booms. And then next step, I'm going to make part of the building. In fact, here what we can do is bring that one back. We'll just use this as the building itself. I'll select both these things and drag it over here and send it to the back. Shift, Command, left bracket. Boom. Sends that to the back. And with it selected, let's see. Yeah. Hit Command V, select just those two guys. I'm going to nudge this down a little bit. In fact, I'll nudge it down a lot. No, I'll nudge it up. I'm going to do that. And let's see, on this top one, I'm going to drag that down a wee bit, like so. Yeah, that works. Let's zoom in on that. And looks good to me. Now I'm going to take the V tool, select the bottom guy, and drag that node down there. And the windows don't start right at the foundation. They kind of have a little bit of space there. Now that I got all that going for me, I'm going to select all this stuff. If I have a blue outline and a white fill, all I have to do is click this little curly arrow right next to those. Boom. Okay, and that'll reverse it. Watch. Bing. Okay, let's group that, Command G. And now we're going to hit the Skew button, or Shear tool. Over here, you'll see, where am I? Something called the Scale tool. It's probably blurry. Come on, let's get unblurry here. If you hold down the Scale tool, you'll see the Shear tool. It's the second option right there. Now with the Shear tool, I can hold down the Shift key and kind of shear it like this. So it's at an angle. Okay. If I hit V, I can kind of squeeze it together some. And then we are going to come over here to, let's see if we find the Reflect tool. It's not in there. It'll probably be in here. Reflect tool. It's right next. It's inside the Rotate tool. And then after you select the Reflect tool, just double click on it. Boom, boom. And you'll get that dialog box right there. I'm going to reflect it vertical, and then I'm going to hit Copy. When you hit Copy, it applies it, but it applies a different one. Now we can hold down our Shift key and nudge it over till it's in the right spot. Okay. So far so good. Whoops, hey, what are you doing? And then, lastly, we need a roof. So I'm going to use my Marquee tool again and hold down the Shift key so it's a square, because we already know that this angle here from here to here is the exact same distance from here to here because we copied it. Let's go back over here to the, what's it called, tool. Hold down the Reflect tool key and go back and select rotate. And then we're going to double click that, and we will type 45 degrees up here and hit OK. This time we hit OK instead of copy because we don't need two roofs. With my arrow key, I'm going to put that right there, and I'll use my white arrow key. I hit the letter A on my keyboard, and I'm just going to nudge that until it's in the right spot. Same thing with the other side. 1, 2, or actually 1, 4, and might even nudge this one down a wee bit, and maybe nudge the whole thing up a little bit. Okay, there's my building. And if I hit V to get the black arrow tool back, and I'll select the whole thing, I'll hit Command G for group. I might even squat it up a little bit or shrink it some. Okay, so I'm going to hit save, and then I think I'm going to build the map I'm going to assemble it in InDesign. So after you've got your map in InDesign and you've traced all the streets, this building, you can just put this building in there 3 times. In fact, what I would do is I'm going to delete this one. And since this whole image is a 3-inch square, I guess we may as well fill it. Oh, that does make the line smaller. Let's not do that. Okay, so this image here is called building.ai. If I hit save, that makes the asterisk go away. And that's the file you can import into your map. That's all I've got to say about that. Happy hunting.